Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. Stream issues have been fixed, so yippee.
So roll surprise for the Gators.
Roll surprise for everybody.
I think I'm running whether I'm surprised or not. I guess I could.
Okay. Yeah,
Guess
so neither of you guys are surprised, but you definitely see gators watching you as you float down.
That should probably be +3. Blink after, though. Okay.
Okay. So, you go second. No,
Okay.
what size is... No, gators are size medium. You go second.
Okay.
As your feet go to touch ground, the first of the
Touch
gators opens its mouth and kind of leaps out towards you.
How many nostrils do I see?
In the immediate vicinity, you see just this one set.
Okay.
But, down to either end, you definitely see more. The first gator leaps out of the water. Raises its teeth as it aims for your legs. Crocodile. This is not a crocodile, this is an alligator, so it is not the same as what you would find.
In the monstrous manual? Do they distinguish them in the monstrous
No,
manual?
they don't, but I just have alligators as weaker versions of crocodiles. Okay. The croc grips through your leg for 5 points of damage as its teeth, rip your boot off and cut your feet up.
Okay. Yeah.
Your initiative's at 8? Okay. From where you couldn't even see a set of nostrils, another gator rips through the surface of the moat, its teeth gnashing above your feet, barely missing you. Your turn.
Well, I'm running. How fast can I... Oh, I would provoke opportunity. Oh, no, I blink. And then I run.
You blink. Okay. So
So
you hold.
I guess let's roll the blink direction.
Do it.
RD8. 3 is
Back into your right, which would land you in a wall, so you
Yeah.
re-blink.
So should I re-roll? No,
Yeah.
you re-roll if it doesn't. 5.
That is back into your left. That's a wall. Blink again.
Just not an 8. 2, I think, is front and to the left.
No,
Right.
2 is directly to your right.
Yep.
Alright, so then you blink to the right and try and run across the surface of
Yeah.
water. It's slow going running on water, but you can make 50 feet in a round. Definitely.
Yeah.
So you splash your way across the water, trying to swim
Light
through
as
the
a
air
feather.
and make it to the other side. Before you is a stretch of land, maybe 150 feet long, and then forest.
I make a break for it.
Right, you run. The gators are left behind. There was a little bit of a wall to climb out of the moat, but it wasn't an issue. I just wanted to make sure.
Wall to climb out.
Like the moat, the water level does not go to the top of the moat.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
a 2-foot section, but that's easy to climb.
Step over it or climb over it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
scramble out and make for the tree line. You
Gators
think you
have no souls. They're not worth farming for XP, so I run.
you can't hear anything from town due to the rain and the gnashing of the
Oh, it's
gators behind
raining.
you.
God.
But you make it to the tree line, hopefully safely.
And I guess I make my way to the path and begin the long trudge to Misty Rapids.
Yes. Okay. You've escaped the city, the town, really. It's dark. It's wet. Do you have a light source?
I have torches and candles, but it's daytime. It shouldn't be
It's not pitch black.
dark. Yeah. I
No.
don't think I would light a torch on a rainy
But the
day.
forest makes it a lot
Yeah.
darker.
I pull my hood over my head, clutch my staff tightly, and trudge on.
Okay.
I'm laughing 'cause of all the shit that I've done. I'm feeling most guilty about wizard locking that random in room at the sleeping knoll.
Of all the things, that's the one you feel bad about.
I think it's because it just happened.
Okay. Well, don't worry. Out of sight, out of mind. It'll be gone. The feeling of guilt will be gone soon enough.
And I don't think I'll be going to Thornwood anytime soon.
Okay. As you make for the road,
Mm-hmm.
you see a large bear with brown fur.
How long after is this?
5 minutes.
Okay, so I'm not blinking randomly anymore.
A large bear with brown fur. Some might call it a brown bear.
Mm-hmm.
Walking across your path.
I'm not yet on the road.
No. It's... I didn't roll for surprise. It doesn't seem to notice you yet.
I give it a wide berth and try not to fuck with it. So I like back up and then like circle to the south.
Not a problem. As long as
Kind
you
of
ignore the bear ignores you. You actually surprise it, so it's very easy to step out of the way. And it doesn't even know that you were there.
Bears have a very acute sense of smell. Although I guess this whole place smells like human.
And it's raining, and
Yeah.
there's a slight wind, and maybe you're upwind of it that you can't tell.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, so I give it a wide berth and cut south towards the path.
okay. Eventually you find the path. You find the road to Misty Rapids. You have your gear with you, but no horse. New spell book on your back.
Long war. I have 3 spell books.
Well, 2 spell books. No, 3 spell books and a whole bunch of scrolls. You've got 20 pounds of books on you.
I have my spell book. I have Laurie the Magnificent spell book. I have Lord Randall's spell book, and then I have all of Bruce's scrolls.
That's 20
And-
pounds of literature on you.
I'm gonna need to condense this at some point.
Yeah, you're like a
That's
kid
all
going to
of-
school with books for all your classes.
Yeah, I got 20 pounds of literature,
Mm-hmm.
and then food and water, and a quarterstaff,
Yeah.
and a knife.
Yeah.
My crowbar's at home.
Okay. You find your way to the road and start making your way
Do the
down
scrolls
it.
really weigh 5 pounds?
Traveling spell books, in whatever form they take, weigh 5 pounds.
So really?
Yeah.
So I'll make my scroll case weigh 5 pounds then. Okay.
Um, all right. You are walking along the road. When stepping from the shadows and the wet trees on either side of you are 7.5 feet tall, green and brown spotted, furry men. They look like gnolls.
7.5 feet tall. Oh, wait, furry men?
Gnolls. Furry
gnolls.
men. They
Sure.
look like that.
Hyenas.
Large hyena men with green spots over brown fur.
God, if I
Tattered
wasn't so
armor and
wounded,
tattered clothes.
I would relish this opportunity. How far away are they?
There are 4 of them in front of you, 2 of them behind you, about 15 feet in either direction, and
Oh,
they
wow.
cackle. They go as a group.
Yeah, I'm casting a spell right away. Yeah, rope
What do you-
trick. That worked with the gnolls well enough last time.
Okay.
I unwind my rope. Do you want me to roll for initiative?
Yes, please do.
Unwinding my rope. I don't really have the patience for this right now, boys. 6. Maybe I should just color sprayed.
I'm going to group initiative it because there's too many of them. So 4, because we're just going to do group initiative. I don't want to roll 7 initiatives.
I thought you said there were 2 of them, or 4 of them.
4 in front, 2 behind.
Oh,
That's
okay.
6, I guess.
Yeah,
That's still a lot of initiatives to roll.
yeah.
All right, so they go first. They stand there, and the leader, Noel, with his long pole arm, points it at you and says in broken common, "Lay down your arms. Then lay on the floor, and we may not eat you alive." I take it you ignore them. Yeah. You proceed with casting rope trick.
I'm all for the shit talk, but yeah, I cast a rope trick, so my rope stands 25 feet straight up in the air, just like the last time I met some gnolls.
Their cackling stops as your
how
rope
close do they
slithers up.
get? Like, are they? Will they provoke? Would I provoke opportunity attacks if I climb the rope, or are they still?
No, not yet. They've stopped and they're watching very suspiciously.
I start to climb the rope. I say, you don't seem to recognize me. My robes may have changed colors, but
They bark at each other in Gnoll.
So I
You
climb
don't
all the
speak
way
Gnoll,
up to my
do you?
extra dimensional space. I don't think I do.
Okay. You have no idea what they say as they bark at you,
No
or bark
gnolls.
together.
Orc, ogre, and hobgoblin, but no gnolls.
But the last sight you see as you disappear into your extra-dimensional space is the leader, like, waving his comrades away, and they slip back into the forest around
I
you.
need souls. No, get back here. I think I'm too beat up to. That happens that same round,
Yes.
like the round that I climb up.
Yeah. As you climb, he motions and they kind of pull back.
Gnolls in the Thornwood. I think
What do you do in your extra-dimensional space?
I hold back the hunger pangs in my belly
So
for the
many
Gnoll souls and wait it out for a minute or two before climbing down.
A couple minutes pass, you climb down.
Actually, my rope's just lost, isn't it? Unless I can buy a new rope.
You did just get 40 gold.
Well, now I gotta buy a horse too.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so you're standing there, looking around.
Yeah,
You're alone on the
So I
road.
spent a few minutes in the extra dimensional space. I climb down, think for a minute about the rope, decide fuck it, and then I start walking down the road.
Okay. The
Keeping
gnolls,
an eye out for gnolls. Did they come back, or were they like, oh shit, this guy again?
they don't molest you. It appears that whether these gnolls were the ones that saw you or whether they just heard rumors of the man with the rope, they ignore you and disappear. Okay. You continue trudging along the road. It's 30 miles to Misty Rapids. You're getting a late start.
Yeah, I'll be traveling into the night, I think.
Yeah. The sun never really comes out. It continues to storm all day. And you find yourself walking in completely soaked through, cold, shivering as the sun descends. You can't even tell the sun's going down, it just slowly gets darker and more miserable.
I'm out of the forest at this point, right?
Yeah, you're well out of the forest in the border of the Tether Wilds.
Yeah.
It's
I
dark
trudge on.
in all
I have
directions.
food. I have water. I do have candles and torches. I would light if appropriate, but I feel it's kind of silly.
There are a few roadside taverns and tea shops, and there are villages that you pass along this road. It's not pure wilderness.
Okay,
But there's no inns whatsoever anywhere. You could stop in a small village, though, if you'd like.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. Or one of the tavern that tavern that I stopped in for lunch last time.
Sure. You recognize last time there's no rooms in that tavern. It's a single
Yeah.
floor. It's just a bar.
Yeah, but maybe they'd have a lead.
Sure. You come across it as
So I'll, like, stop in for lunch or whatever. And
yeah,
or wait
the
for
tavern.
dinner. Is it dark at this point?
Yeah, by the time you find that tavern, it's really the only tavern along this road. The sun has already gone down. It's already dark. You come to the door a shivering mess. You can hear the sounds of people talking inside, some warm laughter, and you can smell roasted potatoes and is that T-bone steak? You don't know how you can smell the T-boneness of it all, but
Yeah.
Images
I don't know.
float your
I don't know if I kill the mood when like a wet, cranky wizard just blows the door open and storms in.
someone yells at you to shut the door. You know, you're letting the cold in.
Yeah.
Educated enough to know that the heat doesn't go out, the cold comes in. mind. Um, the innkeeper looks over at you and goes, the woman, "Blessed me! You look like you've been through hell."
Worse, Knowles.
Oh my.
Is that steak I smell?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Must be a lot of cows to feed all these guys steak.
Well, they don't all eat steak. Most of them just eat porridge and our potatoes. Best potatoes around.
Well, it'll be steak for me, and
Steak and potatoes?
and an ale. I'm headed to Misty Rapids, but
Not
don't know if
tonight,
we
you're
make-
not.
got any leads on a roof for hire out in these parts?
She looks around, notices the robes that you carry, notices your little sigil right there.
I mean, she's got to know who I am, right?
Yeah, she takes a few steps back and gives you a deep bow and says, I'm so sorry. I didn't recognize who you were. Carl, isn't it?
I nod. Yes.
I'm sorry we don't have an inn here, but if you don't mind a hard floor, you could sleep here. I might have a spare blanket I could bring over.
Normally I'd refuse, but I'm soaked to the bone. Yes, the blanket would do nicely. And how about that steak? No need to apologize.
She nods and hurries off and gets you some steak and potatoes and ale. The ale is cold, the steak is hot, the potatoes are spicy. The tavern is comfortable. You rest your weary bones. People give you plenty of looks, and you get that feeling that you get in the back of your mind when you think everyone's talking about you. And you're not sure if they actually are, but you definitely feel like everyone's talking about you.
Wizard life.
Okay.
I eat my steak and potatoes, sip my beer, and rest. God, there are downsides to not wearing anything under your robes,
Yeah.
or at least on the bottom. I think I've got like my frilly dress shirt on top, but definitely no pants.
So 15 minutes later, the woman comes over. Arms have this big bundle blanket. She sets them down next to where you're sitting, and under them is another set of clothes. She offers her husband's, her husband's spare set of clothes to you, because you are clearly soaked to the bone.
Yeah,
They look a little goofy.
No, whatever. I compensate appropriately, or at least I will.
She turns it down. No, please. For
I hope.
the Arc Wizard in town, we Mikasa Sukasa, she says in Halfling.
She speaks halfling?
At least that line, maybe more.
I respond with, "May your grass always be green," or whatever that halfling had said to me. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
The grass.
Something like that. She gives a bit of a chuckle and goes, I just know the one phrase.
I nod and smile. God, I hope that that Lady Redshield's guards don't come here and burn this place to the ground looking for me. That'd make me feel even guiltier than the wizard locked door.
Good.
I hang out until daylight, but I don't think I'm gonna sleep. Like, I think I'll just like huddle up restlessly in the common room. I can't imagine getting full night's sleep with like the stress. Even though I do want to memorize spells, I think I just shiver under the blankets until morning.
Sure.
Actually, probably not shiver. Once do they have bathrooms?
There's an outhouse outside.
Okay, I go and change into the dry clothes.
Okay. By the time you come back, you find her like hanging up your cloak over the hearth and letting it drip onto the hot stones below. The evening passes fairly slowly. It seems like everyone in here is just a local villager, and without anyone traveling the road, it's all villagers in here tonight, and so they're going a little bit more haywire than normal. Or maybe the storm's driving them into a frothing group, but
Yeah.
by the end of
Any-
the night, a few of them have to be carried home. One
Does
fist fight
anyone-
breaks out, but
Does anyone interact with me, or am I totally left alone?
the proprietor comes by a few times to make sure that you've got food and that you're doing well and that you have a drink, and she checks on you every half hour or so.
Do I have? How did I? I thought I had a read magic memorized. I mean, I know I didn't because I never declared it, but I don't know when I would have Oh well. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to study Lord Ramdell's spell. I'll thumb through it, but it's clearly in the language of magic, right? Is it trapped? Does it blow up as soon as I open it?
The
Ramdell's
spellbook? Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's not trapped.
I want to assess it for like damage. Has it been?
The cover's singed. It's badly burned.
But the pages appear to be intact.
Yeah, it's a little crispy around the corners, but it doesn't look like any of the writing was significantly affected.
Okay, I thumb through it, but nothing I can do until I can get a read magic.
Ooh, I forgot to mark off days that you've spent. You went to Thornwood. You arrived in Thornwood yesterday, basically.
Yeah.
You arrived in Thornwood yesterday. It was a crazy ass night for you and a crazy ass morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. I wonder if I switch.
Ooh.
Can you see me? No, that is
No, it's pitch black.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Praise the light that consumes us all. Yeah, so I wait until probably first thing in the morning.
Sure. The night passes. There's plenty of firewood to keep the fire going. The innkeeper seems very hospitable and happy to serve you, but the storm does not blow itself out. You awake the next, or you don't wake, go to sleep. The sun.
I mean, I doze, I'm sure, but I think I just like stay in a chair in the tavern all night, like half awake. I don't. Yeah. I mean, if it seems like I could get it, if I feel comfortable, I'll get a night's sleep. But I'm guessing that
I think you're probably a little on edge.
yeah, like I'm half expecting Red Shield guards to burst in at any moment.
The trouble you've stirred up.
I don't even know how much of this was. I mean, the trouble was there. I just I just investigated, and I turned the stones over, and a bunch of centipedes came crawling out.
Yes. I'm sure that's how the members of the Black Hand felt.
The Black Hand. Is this,
Serbian assassins killed Archduke Franz Ferdinand
okay.
pre-World War One.
Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't really. It's called the Black Hand.
I think it was called the Black Hand.
Yeah, I feel like I got more out of hardcore history than I did out of my high school history courses on the subject.
Oh my god, absolutely. But that's also because hardcore history is ridiculously long. Like, you
Yeah.
get like 10 hours or 15 hours on Genghis Khan as opposed to half an hour.
I guess so.
I've been listening to Blueprints for Armageddon.
Okay.
That's the World War one. It's amazing.
Yeah. Are you listening to the current ones? Like a new one just came out like a couple of weeks ago.
No.
King of Kings
Mm-mm.
on like the Persian Empire.
No, I'm doing Blueprints for
Okay.
Armageddon right now. I'm only in
Cool.
at the end of the second one or end of the third one. For those of you that don't know, Hardcore History by Dan Carlin is absolutely amazing, and it's way better than anything else ever. Just, it's the best in the world. You should listen to Wrath of Khans and Blueprints for Armageddon and Prophets of Doom.
Prophets of Doom is good D&D inspiration.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all history is got it. Reality is so much stranger than anything we could come up with on this show.
Seriously.
All right. So back to this nameless tavern on the roadside.
hmm the sun comes up. The rain continues coming down, but you can see everything just kind of lighten.
Am I the only one left in the tavern?
You're the only one that sleeps here at night. Um,
So I think I wake up probably before anyone shows up, unless they're in super early, and just like tidy my little nest, fold up the blankets. Um, Maybe help myself to some food if there's anything that looks good. I do have rations,
none of it's cooked.
but like if it's like a leftover steak is better than rations.
There's
right?
no leftover steak. Are you kidding? Without refrigeration, everything gets eaten.
Okay, then maybe I pour myself a beer and then take off.
Okay. All right, you head out back onto the road towards Misty Rapids once more. The rain continues. It's maybe a little bit lighter than it was before, but it's still a grueling journey. Your feet sink into the mud. You're cold. You shiver. By the time you make it back to Misty Rapids, it's been a journey.
If it wasn't clear, I paid them handsomely, but that gets lumped in with my
Monthly expenses.
250 GP living expenses. So
Unless you level up right now.
if I level up right now, it goes to 300.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, but I'm 10,000 away from leveling up. Yeah, no way. I haven't killed anything all session. I guess I probably defeated the halfling in combat, but pretty much everything else was me running for my life.
Yes, but great strides were made forward.
Yeah, I finished my quest.
You finished the quest. You have clairaudience and clairvoyance. It's in the book.
It's in the book.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, you make it back to Misty Rapids. There's no other travelers on the road. No riders, no horsemen.
I think I don't think I go to Misty Rapids. I think I go straight to Lord Song. Do I want to go to Lord Song looking like ass, or do I want to go home? I want to go home.
All right. You
I don't even
find
know
your
what
way
it is.
back to your house. The section above your bed has been leaking. The thatch on the roof is not good. Your bed is soaked all the way through. There's a puddle around it. Life is miserable.
I think I curse and then head to Lord Song's Keep. Like I see my wet bed. I was planning on going home and taking a nap and getting cleaned up, but I'm just like, "Ah!"
All right. You trudge the
There's
extra miles to the keep.
there's no way to get a horse before heading to, like is this how
There's a stable master here.
I'll stop by I'll stop by him for the third time in like a week.
All right. The stable master greets you.
Let's hope that Lady Redshield was joking when she said this was a 2-horse town, because I've burned through both of them.
Misty Rapids. Here we go. All right. You
stable
come across
master-
Cridget, the
Bridget.
horsewoman. She's inside her house, but you can see her sitting in there having a cup of tea. As you knock on the door, she comes and goes, "Oh, why, Aunt Carl! So lovely to see you. Do you need me to stable your horse again?"
I'm afraid Horsey's he's alive. This one's alive, but I had to leave him in Thornwood.
You're going to make me a very rich woman, you know.
I look out into the stables. Are there more horses?
They're tucked away in the barn right now. But last time you were through, you remember she had a few more horses left lying around.
75 gold, or do I get a bulk discount?
I don't even know what that word means.
All right. I guess I pay 75 gold for a riding horse. Is that
Yep.
available?
She throws in the saddle and bridle and everything for free this time.
Sweet. And yeah, I suppose a camel is out of the question.
Out of the question.
What about like heavy horses? Are those? I don't have the money for it now.
She's got a draft horse, which is basically the same thing as a heavy war horse minus the trading.
Yeah.
So if you'd like heavier horses, they do exist.
Yeah, just because riding horses have like a carrying capacity of what, like 180 or something?
Something like that.
So a person with gear encumbers them.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's that's why they have jockeys, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So jockeys are small.
Georg's trying to lose weight, but at his height, he can only get so skinny. All right. Hops on this newfound horse. What color is this one?
White with brown spots.
Same as the last one, I think. Can't remember. I hop on and head towards the keep.
Okay. Half hour later or so, you find yourself at the keep. There, in her ever-vigilant post, is Kel Crystal. She sees you coming and opens the door before you.
Before I even have a chance to knock it down.
Right. She opens it wide and just looks at you as you come in, says nothing, shuts the door behind you.
Alright, I dismount. Was there somewhere... Did she take the horses?
She took the horses last time. There's a little stable nearby, near the front
I'll
gate.
deposit my own horse if
Yeah.
I can, and then head in.
Sure. The meeting hall has a large table pulled out in front of it, and all the soldiers at arms are here eating, along with Kel Greller. You wonder why Kel Crystal is off guarding the gate by herself while everyone else is having food. But they're all standing around, chomping on food, slurping up grease greedily as they notice you walking in. Baron Song calls out, in probably the most friendly voice you've ever heard him call, "Ah! Carl! Come in, come in! Hell of a weather we're having today."
Aye. Soaked to the bone. Is there like room at the table?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll come in and I guess have a seat.
The Lord gives a motion, and one of the servants brings you around a trencher of gravy and some bread.
Oh, gravy.
Yeah, there's little bits of chicken left in the gravy.
Lord Song, the meeting with Randall was successful. But we need to talk when you have a moment.
Gonna wait till after dinner?
I shrug and yeah, so we with dinner. I probably don't participate. They probably are they making crude jokes and being soldiers.
The soldiers kind of die down when you come in. It seems like you've put a damper on their mood.
Yeah.
The ones that are sitting next to you finish their food first and leave. It's just you, Kel Greller, and Baron Song. And when the last man leaves, Baron Song motions for you to slide down the table towards him.
Where to begin? I assume I look like self-consciously to to Kel Greller for a second, but then think nothing of it. I assume you've read Lady Redshield's journal by now?
He nods. Damning evidence, if any of it meant anything.
I've learned more about her. It seems she is a witch. A spellcaster.
That certainly explains a few things.
Nod. She tried to kill Lord Ramdal.
How?
Take us.
Assassins again?
Yesterday.
More halflings?
No, an exploding letter.
What? Are such things possible?
I thought it was priestly magic, or clerical magic, but maybe not. I would have to research such things. In any case, she may try to frame me. She tried to turn me, you know. She wants you dead. I refused, of course, but as a result...
Is Ramdal alive?
Us both now. Barely. Yes. I made sure he was stable before I left with his spellbook. But I don't know what will happen when he wakes up.
I appreciate what you've done for me.
I'm not. Once I have a few days to study, I hope to be able to fulfill your request. To see whatever it is you wish to see. But, well, I came here as soon as I could. I haven't had a chance yet to see what Lord Ramdal has in store for us.
What did she offer you to kill me?
She was a surprisingly poor negotiator. It was mostly threats. Yeah, another. Well, I. She did. She did offer me your title. One.
Sounds desperate.
She,
She's in no position to grant that wish.
She means to be countess of something. Where's the county? Is that Thornwood?
Thornwood is the county seat, he says. I sometimes forget you are new to our lands.
I nod. I don't know how she plans to fill that seat, but with magic on her side and, well, I told Ramdal just before he opened that damned letter. I don't know if he'll believe it. We'll see.
Well then, he says, getting back to his more serious tone.
I look over to Kelgreller. He's still just like here through this whole thing.
He's eating his food. He's pulled over someone's food who wasn't finished and is munching on that now.
Uh-huh.
Baron Song clasps his hands together, looks at you with kind of a worried face. If she's willing to kill our Ramdal and has asked you to kill me, and has already tried to kill you, we should be most wary indeed.
We should, but as you said, this screams of desperation. These are not the calculating moves I would have expected from a lady such as her. She's panicked.
People are most dangerous when they're desperate.
Tell me if it is not my place to presume, but how does this countess thing work? Who would she have to kill or bribe to get that seat? She's not in line for the throne, is she?
She is not. Countess Nina would have to die. As would all three of her children.
It's almost too funny to make it stop.
Oh, is this World of Warcraft?
Yes, this is World of Warcraft. I think timed the guy out.
Yeah.
It was funny the first time, but after like a dozen times, I don't know.
There we go.
Yeah.
Why don't you take a 10-minute timeout and chill?
Oh God. What does he start at? Okay. So I asked Lord Song what it would take for Lady Redshield.
She would have to die, as would all three of her children. At that point, the king would appoint a new count or countess. Lady Redshield's family has come a long way, and while there is no short list on hand, I presume her name would be one of the top ones to inherit, or to be appointed. And if she is as strong of a wizard as you claim, exploding letters, and has managed to keep it a secret thus far, I do not doubt her abilities to procure that position for herself. Maybe she even knows what the king's mind is.
She seemed to have a plan, although she didn't share it with me. Well,
Perhaps, he says, turning to Kelgreller, we should just tell the king of her the queen of her plans.
did you find anything incriminating in that journal?
No. Nothing damning in and of itself. Lots of circumstantial evidence, but
Sh- She is. She made a mention of Mother Ullman.
Mother Ullman.
Yeah, I mean, it's implied in the journal, but yesterday, the day before, whenever I confronted her,
That woman's been a
yes.
thorn in our side for ages.
I don't know what the relationship is. I mean, I spoke with Mother Ullman, and she didn't really seem to be hiding anything, but.
Other than her lunacy,
Well,
displays that outright.
that's not hidden.
The people love her.
Just a thought. If there's anyone who she's friendly with who could. I don't
That
know.
woman, I would rather not have to deal with her if possible. If I were to invite her here, it would only give her ridiculous claims more legitimacy.
Well, I don't think she's deeply involved, but she may know something.
Well, well, well. I think for once in our life we have... What is this called? Leverage?
I suppose. I just need to know where to push. I think I need to study. And then we can see about those old plans of yours.
Yes. Do you know what it is that she wants? Is it just Countess? Or her ambitions higher? Does she seek to become queen?
I don't know specifics, but I suspect, like all wizards, she's gotten a taste of power and wants more. She just seems to define power differently than most of us do. No.
Well spoken.
She wants to be countess, and beyond that, who knows? I don't think she will stop once she has the seat. She struck me as a very ambitious woman. A dangerous foe. Or
Well then. We have things to do. He looks to Kelgreller. Looks back to you. Says, I think we should inform the queen of her plan, of her deception. We may not be believed, but it is better to get the truth out there while we still can. I will send a rider in the morning, or whenever this damned fool of a storm clears, to the queen with our side of what has happened. That certainly will not be according to her plan. Hopefully that will slow her or stop her.
what about the Countess of Thornwood? I think she's still into the dark about all of this as well.
Possibly a very good idea. You say this Lady Redshield was going to frame you for something?
I assume she already has. See, she sent Randall this cursed letter. When I met with him and told him that Lady Redshield was the secret wizard he was after, he didn't believe it. He said, "Why, she just sent a letter today." And proceeded to open it and blow his study to pieces. I left the city before I could see the fallout, but bells were ringing until he wakes up. If he wakes up. I'm sure I'm a wanted man in Thornwood.
A wise maneuver. I will write to Countess Castilian as well. Maybe exposing her for the witch that she is enough to bring her to her knees.
I don't know. I mean, the letter seems like the right course of action, but with Randall temporarily out of commission, she's potentially the only powerful spellcaster left in Thornwood. I don't think she'll drop to her knees easily.
Greller, do you have
He
any
may-
advice? He says, turning to the knight. The knight thinks long and hard for a few moments, and then comes up with, if we had the men to spare, I would suggest setting up an ambush in the Thornwood, just at the edge of it. If her or any of her men come our way, jump them, take them captive. But we don't have the troops for that. I say we go on offense. Find this Lady Redshield and end her life before she can end ours. The Baron looks to you for your feedback.
Well, the thought crossed my mind to slay her on the spot in her own study when she threatened my life and yours. I'm not opposed to offense, but I don't expect her to come waltzing into the Tetherwild looking for us.
He nods.
No. I think she'll stay cozied up in Thornwood, playing her political game, letting her soldiers and halflings do her killing for her under different names.
Well, sounds
Send the
like
letters. I will return to my own, and we will speak in a few days, hopefully with a few new tricks up my sleeve.
good. I will go write those letters. He rises from the table, shakes her hand, and exits. Kel Greller sits and keeps munching on bread and cold gravy.
I give him a nod as I depart.
Once the Lord has left, but before you've quite made it to the door, Kel Greller calls for you. Carl! He gets up
Yes,
and walks over
brother?
to you. It's the second time you've spoken of curses. How does one detect a curse? If we receive a letter, how are we to know whether it has been cursed or not? Do you have...
It's quite tedious. Yes, I have spells that can detect such things, but I mean, Randall himself was caught unawares. If you get anything suspicious, do not open it, and I can, run the appropriate tests. This magic is a tricky business.
And if you found something cursed, could you remove it? Remove the curse, that is?
I shake my head slowly. There are such spells. I do not have them. And takes
He nods,
powerful magics.
claps you on the shoulder. The only sign of approval you've ever gotten from this semi-father figure as he walks away.
Do you have anything that you think is cursed? I say as he's walking out of the room. Or
He freezes in place as you say that and turns on the balls of his feet to look at you. Sizes you up, turns around, and walks away.
itching to cast True Sight or Detect Magic right now. I wonder if it was one of his swords is cursed. Maybe the ring that the Lord has on. Who knows? A mystery for another day. Georg lets his imagination run wild as he returns to his horse and to Misty Rapids.
Alright, you get back to your house. Your bed is still soaked all the way through.
Yeah. I'm tired, but I think like the engineer in me takes over, and I probably spend the rest of the afternoon fixing the roof and fixing the bed. And
You're going to need extra thatch. Like, the roof is a real problem. You're going to need time and dry weather to fix the roof for surezies. The bed is just soaked. You know, if you could move the bed to a different part of the house if you had dry things to put on it, and you'd be okay.
yeah, so I go like get dry bedding and
A dry mattress and...
probably just replace the bed. The roof can't be repaired today.
No, not in the middle of a rainstorm. When you go around to like try and buy dry bedding, you get a lot of weird looks like, what? In this weather? What are you doing? It'll just get wet on the way. And you're like, dude just... You work out an arrangement, and people carry tarps over your new bed equipment as they bring it to your house for you.
This is why I pay 250 gold a month.
You get it all nice and set up.
Yeah.
And go to sleep.
And I go to the doctor, too, before going to sleep.
Okay.
And I think I definitely want to spend at least a few days in town, deciphering the spell book and healing. That's mostly it.
Okay. So when you're talking to these people about your betting, you hear a rumor that they've been talking about quite heatedly, and when you come in, they're super excited to discuss it with you. Clearly, the rumor of your attempted assassination has spread throughout the town. Everyone's talking about it like it's like they were there at that night and saw the whole thing.
There were a few people that were there. This is okay. This is good news for me. I was worried there weren't any witnesses. But...
No, everyone's like, "Oh my god!" One of the guys says, Carl, you're back. Have you heard the news?"
News?
A halfling washed up in a village down the river. Do you think it's the one that do you think it's him?
Well,
they said
I've never heard of anyone making it past those rapids, but this halfling, Gimbal is his name. He's an expert assassin. Lady Redshield's favorite.
Lady Redshield? Is she involved in it? Oh my god. They murmur amongst themselves for a moment.
Yes,
and they
this
come back.
halfling has been known to get out of trickier situations, so I wouldn't be surprised if he somehow escaped the river and...
Well, they said a halfling washed up in a village to the east a little bit, near the Thornwood, and he had something on him, some writing in a language no one had ever seen before.
This is... Well... How far... Where's this village?
Oh, they give you a rough description. This village is, after they describe it, it's like right around here. It's right near where the road meets the river.
Yeah.
If you stopped over in this village at the tavern, it's a village, just a little over here. It's still technically Misty Rapids barony, rather than Thornwood.
Does the border extend to the tree line?
Yeah.
To the forest?
Thornwood County. Well, Thornwood County is large, but the area that Thornwood controls is specifically within the forest, and then a little bit to the north of the forest, northeast.
Okay. Huh. I think I'll check that out tomorrow then. But yeah, I tell them all about Gimbal, this great assassin. Are any of their accounts even remote? Did they describe the battle in any reasonable detail, or is it just like craziness?
They say the assassin snuck up, and Carl his magic had been attuned to the area. He felt the assassin show up before he was there. There was a battle outside. Like, the details are sketchy. They gloss over all the fighting through the window bit. Just, you're outside fighting this guy outside your house, and your house is on fire. It's like a raging inferno, but you used your magic to stop the fire and threw the halfling across the yard and into the water. It's clearly not an accurate story. It actually blows you up to be a far more powerful force in the moment than you actually were.
Perfect. Okay. I still think I want to go to sleep and deal with this the next day.
Sure.
By the time I've got my bed sorted out, and I'm probably exhausted.
Yeah.
My roof is still leaking?
Your roof is still leaking.
I'll have to see about getting a tile roof.
Okay. The night passes. You sleep. You sleep deeply. You wake up late morning. to the sounds of birds. The sun is
So,
out. The puddle in your house is slowly drying.
all right. I'm gonna hold before sleep. I would have ditched to comprehend languages
Sure.
so that I can memorize 3 read magics. I think 2 read magics and 1 detect. Kind of want to detect magic in my back pocket after that conversation with Kel Greller, but for today, 3 read magics. Lock and another blink. Okay, sorry, I interrupted your description with my. God, what is with this World of Warcraft? I guess it's the same guy.
Same guy. Yeah. The more attention we give him, the more he'll go for it. Some people just get really bored in their afternoons. They've got nothing better to do. It's all right. Cool. So we have like 20 some minutes left. Yeah, you don't.
So I need to. I want to decipher the spell book. That's my first action of the day.
Mhm.
So I've got 3 read magic spells. That's 15 pages. Do you have a spell book ready or no?
Yes, I do.
Oh
You
God,
can.
I forgot your shitty rules. It's gonna take like a week to learn these spells.
Someone recently said that they found in one of the books somewhere where it says it takes 1 to 2 days per spell level to copy a spell from one book to another. And if that's the case, then that's actually how long it should take to learn it. I asked them to give specifics, like where did you find that information, but I haven't heard back from them yet. Because I searched and I didn't see anything like that.
Okay. Do you have a list of the?
Yes,
spell
let
book,
me give that to you right now. Whoops. Yeah, because you can use a read magic and just skim through all the
titles?
spells. Can you? You're 5th level, right?
Yes, I have third level spells. Are there higher than 3rd level spells in here?
No. All right, I've sent it to you via the Skypes.
He's got less HP than me, so.
What's your HP? Oh yeah, your HP is like 15. Yeah.
Ooh, burning hands. I was thinking I could use some low level magic or low level combat spells. Unseen servant could be fun. I am hoping for an armor, which he doesn't have. Lots of fun stuff. Ooh. ESP. No alignment. Some good stuff in here. Explosive runes. Ramdal. Ramdal. Points, clairaudience. Hold person. That's enchantment. Lightning bolt. Awesome. Oh man, I got a lot of spells. No fireball, guys, but lightning bolt does the same amount of damage. It just it's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. There's more spells besides. Oh God, this is too good. I like fly. Lemon's tiny hut. I guess I'm starting with clairvoyance and clairaudience because my boss said so.
You really need some time just to sit and study your spells.
Oh yeah.
There's just not enough time.
I am intrigued that the spell that almost killed Ramdal is in his spellbook. Like he wouldn't cast it on his own letter and blow himself up, would he? That's crazy talk. But did he teach it to her? Did she steal it from his spellbook? Or is it just a weird coincidence because that's one of the few trap spells that exists? In any case. So I would use all 3 of the right, or maybe it's 30 minutes. How long does read magic last? Read magic 2 rounds per level, so it's actually 30 rounds, so 30 pages of the spell book. He's one to read the titles and then dig into the clairvoyance and clairaudience. Clairvoyance first. So
So what do you do?
I think most of the spell studying will take place between sessions.
Yeah. Did you want to head out to the other village now, or are you going to hold off on that?
I'll check that out today.
Okay.
Do I get any? I guess it basically. I mean, like by the time I will have learned spells, I would have had time to read magic on them. But I get a good way through deciphering the book.
Right. So you head out down along the road looking for this village they've talked about. You've got a horse, which gives you plenty of mobility to get there and probably back in a day.
Mm-hmm.
As you are approaching this town, you see I should say, let's roll back a little bit. It's a nice, lovely day. The storm has passed. You know, things are still a little bit wet outside, but it's that kind of like fresh feeling after a storm. The sun is out, the birds are chirping, the air is so clear you can see for miles and miles and miles. There's kind of a peace settled over everything that hides the danger and the horrors of the previous week. As you approach the town, you see awkwardly, kind of counter to the atmosphere that you've been in all day, this woman running towards you. She's got tattered shoes. Her hem is caked 6 inches deep in mud. And she's just running down the road as fast as she can in your direction.
I like slow the horse down and like turn it sideways to.
She runs towards you yelling, "Help! Help!" And in the distance behind her, you can see 2 horsemen thundering down the road in your direction.
Do they look like they have ranged weapons?
They do not.
Okay, like no bows or anything. They're like okay. So I want to cast a color spray in their face, like as soon as they ride to me / past me / whatever.
Well, so she runs up to you and gets behind your horse, looking
Yeah.
over the horse's rump.
Yeah.
The horsemen begin to slow down from a great distance, seeing her stop behind your horse.
Mm-hmm. How
What's
far
the
off?
range of-
Like, how much time do I have to? Maybe I don't get color spray. Is like it's like close range. It's like 20 feet or something.
Yeah.
So unless they get within 20 feet, I don't think I cast it.
Okay.
How long do I have with this woman before the horsemen close?
10 seconds.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll shout like, "Who are these men?"
Servants! Servants of her most awfulness! The horsemen begin to close at this point.
Mm-hmm. What are they? What are they doing?
They slow to a stop a good 60 feet away from you,
Mm-hmm.
and the lead one in a gruff voice says, "You there! Unhand that woman. Give her to
Right.
us. She's wanted."
Do I recognize any sigils on them?
Give me a perception check.
I don't have heraldry or anything, but nope. 20.
You don't recognize anything on them.
So then, okay, what's the story with casting spells from horseback? Did we decide that unless the horse is galloping, it's fine?
As long as the horse is standing still, it's fine. I think maybe if the horse is going at a very slow pace, you could get a spell off, but if the horse is going quickly, definitely not.
Okay. By whose authority do you arrest this woman? And I think I start to move the horse forward slowly.
On the authority of her ladyship, Annabelle Redshield. This woman is wanted in connection with crimes.
I like slowly move the horse towards them, hopefully not alerting them. I think I would like to, let's see. Oops. Color spray range. 5 by 20 by 20 wedge. So I want to get within 20 feet of them if that's possible.
Sure.
Like
So
over
you
the course of the conversation.
slowly
So
start.
they say by the. I said, do you know which land you stand upon?
Stand back, wizard. We have no quarrel with you or the songs. This woman was wanted for burglary.
I
Surely you would not wish to stand in the way of justice.
I look back to the woman. I guess I stop for a second.
She looks to you and just
And
shakes her head. She's got big, wide, terrified eyes.
Okay. I keep the slow trot forward. I say, I'm afraid Lady Redshield has no authority in this land. Send if you would send a warrant from the Countess.
He
Perhaps,
grunts.
yeah.
He kind of
Perhaps
grunts at
something
you.
could be done, but you are in the barony of Misty Rapids and hold no authority here.
He grunts again, turns his horse, rears it, and gallops off the other direction. His companion follows.
I wanted an excuse to blow them to pieces and take their souls. That was anticlimactic. I guess I watched them ride off and then dismount.
The woman comes over to you and gives you a big hug. Just says, "Oh, thank you.
Good thing I dismounted.
Thank you so much. Those men, they..."
What? Where are you? Where did you come from? I'm like looking around.
I left Thornwood this morning.
Did you steal something?
Yes, a man met me. He... Look, it's...
Speak plainly. I'm not going to arrest you, but well, depending on, yeah, I may have only bought you a few days. I can help you more if you tell me the truth. I look her up and down. Is she armed or
She's not armed.
traveling pack? She looks like she just like.
She looks like she's been running through mud for hours.
Mm-hmm.
She proceeds to tell you the story about how a man approached her and offered her a large sum of money if she could steal Lady Redshield's accounting ledger, and he gave her a key to the house, to Lady Redshield's house. So this woman, who introduces herself as Marjorie, and her sister together went to steal this ledger last night when during the storm. They got in, stole the ledger from the office right where the guy said it would be, but on their way out, a servant spotted them, sounded the alarm. The two of them fled. The sister was shot by a crossbowman and died. She had the ledger in her hands. And this woman, whose name is Marjorie, I didn't already say that,
Yeah.
managed to escape out into the streets before the guards got there. She fled the city that night, and here she is, being chased by horsemen.
So you don't have the ledger?
She shakes her head. I couldn't get away with it. My sister had it, and she was brought down. I don't know if she's dead or not.
For her sake, I kind of hope so. I guess I put a hand on her shoulder. I forgot what I was going to say.
She kind of breaks down, weeping a little bit, and embraces you again.
Oh, God. Chat's telling me to check my purse. Do you have the key?
She nods and pulls out a key from her pocket, hands it to you.
Well, then.
I mean, she lets you look at it. She's not like, here, this is your property now. She, like, gives it to you to look at, and then when you're look like you're done examining it, she tries to take it back from you. This is not like random woman comes, gives you key to Lady Redshield's house, and walks away.
Most interesting. Well, I doubt that my word has bought you more than a few days. I'm sure Lady Redshield will have
I
come.
don't have anywhere to go.
Yes, yes. You will need some help, some protection. I'm sure Lord Song will be very interested in this tale. I have some air. How far are we from the village I was heading to?
Pretty close. Like
Okay.
a half mile.
It's like getting later in the day. I have some errands in a village just up the road, but if you could have some patience, I can escort you back to Misty Rapids.
Would you?
I
That's
nod.
very generous of you. Sir Kel
Carl.
Ark?
Carl.
She takes a few steps back and gives you a deep and somewhat clumsy curtsy. As she comes up from her curtsy, you realize probably if she wasn't such a mess from like running through the rain and the mud for the last day, she's a fairly attractive woman.
So if we get her fed and rested, she'll have a nice, delicious soul for the harvest.
All the souls.
All right. I guess I beckon for her to hop on the saddle behind me.
Yeah, she hops on.
Yeah, I help her up and
The two of you ride over to the next village.
I got distracted in the role playing, but I was actually looking up how the encumbrance rules for a horse to see how much of a damper this is going to put on my day.
Desperate woman comes to you for help. God, how much does she weigh? Is this going to slow my horse?
I'm like sizing her. You thought I was looking her up and down to roll for hotness. I was actually looking her up and down to try and estimate her mass.
She's not very tall, and she's pretty thin. You'd estimate her weight somewhere around 100 pounds, maybe 90 pounds. She's like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Fairly lithe?
Fairly alive?
Lithe? Is that the word? Lithe?
Lithe. Yes,
Yeah.
lithe is like slender and graceful. 180 to 270 is 2/3 move. 270... Not unless I ditch my stuff. God, I want my deep pocket spell. So we'd be at 1/3. We'd be slow. Unless I could find a way to get us below. Well, I would have left Ramdal's spell behind. 270. What is... No, there's no way I only have 5 pounds of gear.
Your clothes weigh 5 pounds alone.
Does reduce change the weight of something?
Sure. I think it changes everything proportionally.
Yeah. How about rope trick can't move, right? I can't put all my things into a rope trick and hang onto the rope. And I never bought another rope. Buy a rope.
Hey, you don't have any rope. Does that reduce your encumbrance?
It does, but it's not like there's no like.
Okay.
I weigh 165. I would need to weigh. I don't even. We need to get our total combined weight below 270.
What's
and the
your
horse
weight?
has a saddle. I'm 165 even.
So 265 with the two of you.
Plus a saddle, plus my spell book, plus clothes.
And what do you need to be under?
270 is.
God, yeah, you're okay. Yeah. You're screwed.
So the horse. I mean, the horse just walks.
Okay. You make it to the village. Very shortly later, you find the sheriff. This one's not a knight, just a common pleb who's been anointed sheriff in town. The sheriff kind of puts his hands on his hips as he watches you come in, and goes, "Ain't you that fancy pants wizard from the capital?"
Carl, yes. Never heard Misty Rapids called the capital before, but
Hell, capital of the barony is capital enough around here, ain't it?
Yes. Well, I'll cut right to the chase. I heard a halfling washed up on your shores a few days ago.
Sure as shit, he did. Dead little sucker, he says, catching his tongue at the last minute.
I nod.
You want to see the grave? We buried him.
You buried him?
He's dead. What else are we supposed to do? He's down in the catacombs.
Oh, so can I look to is Marjorie, was that her name?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Is she like right there, or if I like dismounted and she's still on
She's
the horse?
no, you're both still mounted.
Okay. I guess I lean in, but she probably. Can I see the body, or is it?
Why would you want to
I
see the body for?
I dismount. Have you heard of the assassination attempt?
Who's been killed?
No one, save this halfling. A halfling assassin came after me in Misty Rapids a few days ago.
Well, shit.
Jumped into the river.
Oh, this is probably him. He was definitely dead.
That's what I came to be sure of.
Water coming out of his lungs. I promise you, he's dead. But if you want to see that body, we tossed him down with all the other unknowns. Kind of, you know.
So
no one
many
knows who
spells
he
that-
is. You just toss him in the big pit with the other bodies. You can dig around for him if you want.
Maybe not now. I want my past life spell memorized. Got rope trick and no rope. Wish it were a past life. I don't know if that would help me identify him anymore, but I guess I can come back later. Sure, can you show me where he is?
The sheriff takes you to the very small temple that they have.
Yeah. On the way, I say, I heard he washed up with a note.
Mm-hmm. Got a letter on him. Tucked into his vest.
Can I take a look? Is it still in his vest?
No, I kept it for records. It was all gibberish. Couldn't understand a lick of it.
I'm hoping that I can help. So, we make it to the church?
Sure. No, you make a quick stop off at the sheriff's house.
Okay.
He doesn't have an actual station for an office. It's just his house. And he hands over the letter. It's, garbled.
I take a look at it. So I speak and presumably read right. Common, Elven, Dwarven, Gnomish, Halfling, Orc, Ogre, Hobgoblin.
No, it is none of those languages.
Do I recognize it as a language? Or does it look like some cipher?
It might be a cipher. It's written in the common script.
So they are they're letters.
Yeah.
In
the letters in the common script.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't make anything of it.
You
At least
didn't even
not
have
at
me
first
roll
glance.
anything.
Well, not at first glance. You can't make anything of it. Over time, you may. With proper study.
Yeah. Okay.
He then leads you to the catacombs under the temple. The catacombs are dark and dingy. He takes a lantern to light your way. This woman just kind of is following along with you, unsure of what to do. And she sticks a little close, like her hands are on your back as you guys are walking down through these catacombs.
Sure, that's fine.
He leads you through some maze-like areas and eventually leads you to a large, this one branch of this catacomb just ends in a big rectangular room that just has bodies piled up in it. He shines the light over and goes, "This is where we put all the people who we don't know. Ain't a lot of them. Only a few people per year, but you'd be surprised how many people drown in that river and wash up."
That's why I was so shocked to see him jump in. I look around. How many bodies are in this room?
Well, if you want to include things that have rotted all the way to the skeleton, we're talking hundreds.
Jeez,
But-
so it's just like a big chamber piled with bodies.
Yeah.
So when they say buried, they did not bury him. They tossed him into a room underground.
Yes.
I
You can-
pull my robe up around my nose. I say to Marjorie, "Wait here," at the entrance to the room,
Mhm.
and I pull my robe over my nose and step in,
Okay.
lighting a torch if necessary.
Well, he's got the lantern shining, which gives you plenty
Okay.
of light.
Okay.
Yeah, you approach. There's clearly one fresh body, and the ones beneath that are probably months old. It's definitely the body of a halfling.
I inspect it as best I can.
Give me a charisma check.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
You
30.
recognize the halfling as the gardener from the Red Shield estate that you spoke with.
I guess. Does that mean it is not Grimble, or could they be one and the same?
They could be one and the same for all you know. You've never really got a good look at the person who was trying to kill you. It was dark.
Yeah. Oh, that poor gardener. All right, I kneel down and pull out I want to, hopefully without anyone noticing, pull out a little bit of hair so that I can cast Past Life at a later time.
Okay. You rip a hair out of his head. And tuck it away secretly somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff calls over. You find anything?
I know this man. Not sure if it's the assassin though. It's Lady Redshield's gardener. Why am I telling this to some random small town sheriff?
Hey!
I
You washed up on my beach.
I didn't mean to say that out loud. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
All right. Out of room on my character sheet, and I haven't figured out a better organizational system. I got started with a Word document with a few things written on it, but my life is a mess.
Wow.
Okay. So with the halfling hair, he just lets me keep the note?
Yeah, he shrugs when he hands it over to you. When you ask if you can keep it, he's like, Bot has been here a couple days. No one came by to get it so far, but if they come looking for it, I'll let him know you got the note. You're Art Carl, Baron Song's boy, right?
I nod.
Yeah. Sounds good for me.
Ooh. I just read the explosive rune spell from what's his name spellbook. These could very well be explosive runes. They explode when red, not when.
If they were explosive runes, they would have exploded on you already.
I haven't read them yet. Well, I mean, I couldn't read them, right?
I think red is, look at and try to read.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not explosive runes.
Yeah, because the explosive runes are hidden.
Mm-hmm.
It's whenever the contents of the page are viewed and tried to be read that they explode.
Okay. So not explosive runes.
Yes.
All right. So we leave the catacombs?
You leave the catacombs. Nope, nothing else. You leave the catacombs, and where do you go?
Back to Misty Rapids with Marjorie. Is that her name?
Marjorie. Yes.
So I think I want to talk pretty much the whole way back. Like I don't want it to seem like I'm grilling her, but I kind of want to grill. Like I want to figure out like where she's from, what her deal is, mostly to try and see if she has a legit backstory or if she's some con artist out to steal my gold.
All right. What would you like to ask of her?
Where she's from. You want to do this in character?
Yeah, we'll do it in character. Well, my sister and I are from Thornwood.
Born and raised?
No, born just east of Rainwood, kind of near the Ashlands a little bit.
Rainwood, never been. Is that northeast?
North of Thornwood, along the Russian River.
Mm-hmm.
We moved to Thornwood when our parents died.
There's no road that goes north, is there?
Not a real road, just a little bit of a path. Anyway, like I said, my family died. My sister and I came to Thornwood looking for work. It's been hard going. Sometimes you end up doing things that aren't necessarily the best in order to survive. Some days were better than others. This man approached us a few days back. Real shadowy figure, hood all drawn up around his face. Kept his head bowed low so I couldn't see who he was. He offered me a big lump of gold if I could get Annabelle Redshield's account and ledger to him.
Yes.
My parents saw to it that I learned my letters before. They were good folk, and so he gave me a key, and my sister and I went in.
You have no idea who this man is? Or
Mm-mm.
any hint of what he looked like?
Mm-mm.
What color were his robes?
Brown. Like I said, I couldn't notice a thing about him. He real sketchy like, real like the sort of guy you'd find in the pug.
Why, I was in the pub just the other night.
You were in Thornwood?
Yeah, I was.
Hmm.
Probably for the last time. Seems we both pissed off Lady Redshield.
Wait, what do you mean? You pissed off Lady Redshield too?
No, I don't know if this is any of your business. But I'm sure you'll hear the rumors soon enough.
Well, if I'm going to hear him soon enough, why don't you just tell me?
Well, what do you know about leprechauns?
Short little fellows, distant relatives of brownies. Queer, gay little folk. Hop around in green outfits, singing about rainbows.
No recent rumors in Thornwood about leprechauns?
Mm-mm.
Damn. Well, long story short, Lady Redshield's making some power plays. That's why I was so interested to hear about this ledger business. She tried to recruit me, buy me off. I turned her down, and well, I gather she's not a woman that likes to be turned down.
She's not a woman that likes to be robbed from, neither.
I'd say not.
And you're not the only person interested in these power plays. Whoever this robed man was, he was definitely a man, a human man, I can tell you that. Mm-hmm. Although it doesn't narrow it down very much.
You're awfully bright. Yes.
Well, no one ever claimed I was dumb. Just because my hem is 6 inches deep in mud don't mean I'm an idiot. And don't let my accent fool you none either. My sister and I have had to survive. We are not... I am not...
It was a compliment. No need to be offended.
Oh, sisters... Don't know what's come of my sister. I'm just worried is all. I ain't got nowhere else to go either. Thornwood's been my home ever since. I don't rightly feel comfortable going further west. They say those folk in Cauldron are devil worshippers.
I wouldn't go that far, but... Well, this information you have is mighty valuable. It'll buy you some safety in Misty Rapids for as long as you need it. As for your sister, well, she's in Lady Redshield's hands. Let's hope she has mercy.
Is there nothing that can be done?
Perhaps, but...
But?
Well, we can see. For now, let's get to Misty Rapids. Get a nice meal in you. I've got rations, so I probably would have handed her I don't even know, dried fruit or whatever, some beef jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Get a real meal in her.
Okay.
See if she's got any more information.
She doesn't really have too much other information. She tries to give you details about the man she met with. She describes his voice as gravelly and a little rough. She got to see a look of his hands. They were fairly pale and older. definitely not a young man. Maybe someone in their 50s or older, somewhere between 45 and 65, judging by the hands. But it's hard to tell. It's a pretty big gap. She doesn't have too many other details, but she sounds pretty pissed off, and she sounds like she wants to mount an offensive, even if it's a one-woman offensive, to retrieve her sister.
And I try to calm her down, and like tell her we can see about sneaking into Thornwood. But...
What's all this we business? You coming along all of a sudden?
Oh,
You the sort of man to help a total stranger out of the kindness of your own heart?
Not usually. I just meant... Well, we can talk about it once we get to Misty Rapids.
You guys arrive a few hours later. The sun's gone down by now. You made the last leg of the journey kind of in darkness. She asks if you can recommend an inn, a cheap inn.
Yeah, I know all the inns in town, maybe.
All three of them. No, wait, that's Thornwood Inns. All two of them. First Falls Inn and Fogview Inn.
Fogview is right next door to my house, right?
First Falls.
Oh, First Falls.
Yeah, the cheaper of the two.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Yeah. First Falls is a decent place.
Can you show me the way? Maybe give a girl a ride?
Yeah, I mean, she's on my horse.
Yeah. Okay. She thanks you for taking
so
her
I guess
there.
we ride past my house on the... Oh, yeah. I'll point out my house on the way. That's my shack. Halflings tried to burn it down. This rain almost saw fit to wash it away.
Well, you got more than I got. I have... She pulls out a coin purse, empties it into her hand, and you see it's got like 7 silver and 12 copper in it.
Mm-hmm.
I have enough to live for a couple of weeks. Maybe I'll get a waitressing job. You know anyone that needs a waitress, or maybe a maid, or a cook?
Well, there's a hole in my roof. My house is pretty flooded. We'll see. We can
Never thatched a roof before.
Get some rest. I'll see you in the morning, and we can. Well, actually, what time? It's probably super late.
It's super late. Yeah.
All encumbered. Yeah. Get some rest. Well, I'll stop by in the morning.
She gives you a kiss on your cheek and heads in for the night to First Falls Inn.
She had enough money to buy an inn room for the night, right?
She had like 7 silver and 12 copper or something.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be tacky to hand her gold now. She can string me along tomorrow or whatever.
And I think this is where we come to the end of our session of play today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some experience points.
I thought you said you didn't kill anything.
I defeated a halfling in combat and
You did.
solved one quest.
Yes, you solved the quest of the mystery wizard in Thornwood, and you solved it in a very bold manner.
An unconventional way, huh?
Very unconventional, bold way. You also acquired not just the clairaudience and clairvoyance spells, but an entire spell book.
Whoops. I think we'll get experience for that as I learn the spells.
Yeah, you'll get 100 experience per spell level of spell that you learn. 500 experience per spell level of spell that you research from scratch.
That costs a lot of money, though.
It costs a lot of money. And time. Let's see, you've done those 2 things. You exhumed, as much as that is, the body of the halfling and got the message that was not worth a lot, but it's worth something, inspecting that.
I still gotta decipher it. Is that just like a regular cipher that you're gonna have me roll? Like, Like how are we gonna handle that?
We'll figure that out next week.
Okay.
Um, let's see. You
Oh, I cast a bunch of spells. A bunch of spells. I should have been ticking
bunch of
them off as I
spells.
was casting them.
Let's see. You did a Featherfall. You did a Blink. You did another Blink. You did.
There's a spider climb out the window. There was a
Mhm.
rope trick with the gnolls. I need to count per spell level, don't I?
Right. I'm counting per spell level. It's
Okay.
50 per spell level. So 50,
Yeah.
150, 150, 50, 50.
Then we get a knock to save Randall.
That's 100. Yeah. Oh, you also saved Randall's life. That's worth
Yeah.
something. Um,
I think that was all the spells cast to overcome obstacles.
mhm. You had some great ideas. You had a bunch of other stuff. All right, so let's give you some role playing experience and some other things. All total comes to 4,125, not including your 10%, which makes it 4,537.5.
4,500 and
37.
37.5. I have been hanging on to a random 0.5.
Beautiful.
All right, so that brings me up to 34,567
Out of 40,000.
out of 40,000.
So you're 5,500 away.
Might level up next time. Should be
Maybe.
sweet. Get another third level spell slot. Oh, and I get my Carl proficiency at level 6. Finally get to use this dagger in combat effectively.
At level 6. Oh, wizards get 1 every 5?
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's it for Dicing with Death today. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry about the streaming issues, those weird sounds, and the lag. I honestly have no idea what either of those are from, but, they're fixed now, so cross our fingers. I'd also like to give a big shout out to Layla and Chris for doing the intros for us every single week. They are fantastic, and we wouldn't be able to have such a fantastic show for you guys if we didn't have amazing people making those recaps for us. So if we can get everyone that's watching this on YouTube and in the chat right now to give a big shout out to Layla and Chris, we would appreciate that. Show them some love for us, would you?
Woo!
Woo! Other than that, I think same time next week.
No, we will have to. I am at a conference next week.
Right.
If there are any material scientists in the audience going to MRS, hit me up.
Ooh. Where can they find you if they want to hit you up?
I don't think anyone's going, but if they really are, they can track me down.
You guys can post a thread on Reddit or something.
Yeah.
Reddit.com/r/Koibu. Ryan will find it there. He's the guy with the name Hobgoblin.
Mm-hmm.
Or Hogoblin, something like that.
So that will be Monday. Monday through Friday. So we can do. I don't know how we want to reschedule. May just have to wait and play it by ear. Like we could do like next Saturday after Hardcore Heroes, even this Saturday after Hardcore Heroes. But that may be too much DMing for you straight.
Maybe.
I don't remember which time I get back. I think I get back too late Friday night. But let's see here. Yeah, I get back like midnight Friday night.
Yeah, so I could do Saturday after Hardcore Heroes or Sunday after Shenanigans this week.
Okay. You mean like a week from this week?
A week from this week or in 2 or 3 days, whatever. I don't care.
I could do either or both.
You want to do this Sunday, the 27th?
Yeah, so that would be 10 to so do Shenanigans until
Shenanigans goes until 2. We reconvene at 3-ish. Give us an hour break to get food and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe like a mini session. Sure. I usually go dancing Sunday nights, and then I've got an early morning flight Monday. But we could, yeah.
All right, we'll do a couple hours this Sunday in preparation for the break.
Yeah.
Are you giving a lecture? Are you presenting a paper?
I've got a talk.
Do we get to know the name of the talk, even if it goes way over our heads?
Oh God, it's like I don't have my slides up now. It's like controlled dose for, I don't know, observation of iron oxide nanoparticle dynamics or something like that.
Fancy.
I should probably get a better handle on my title before I give the talk, huh?
Probably,
Yeah.
but that's just, a recommendation. Who needs to follow those things?
Oh,
All right, guys.
there's a TEM in there somewhere. Electron microscopy.
What?
It's a lot of words. I need to work on like super short titles, like science that will save the world.
Dude, all the best
Give me
papers
all
have the
your-
longest titles. Come
I
on.
don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
All the old ancients used to have crazy long titles that were obscured.
Maybe.
All right. That's it. We'll see you guys Sunday for more Dicing with Death, and Saturday for more Hardcore Heroes, and Sunday for Shenanigans. It's going to be a D&D packed weekend. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.